Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on this short webinar where Dr. Okker will be answering your questions regarding the advanced training course. Thank you very much for sending in your questions. I'll be posing them to Dr. Okker. I'm Elizabeth, your presenter, and I'll be introducing Dr. Okker in a moment. I'd just like to remind you that the webinar is being recorded and we'll be sending you a copy tomorrow. So just a quick reminder regarding viewing the webinar and asking questions. You should see a panel on your screen. There's a panel in there for asking questions. So please type your questions into the box there and we'll endeavour to answer them throughout the webinar. If we can't answer during the webinar, we'll answer them in a question and answer session at the end. So if you can, just please locate the questions box and write OK so we know that you found it OK. And also please locate and click on the full screen button to play the webinar in full screen, as this is the best way to view the webinar. So hopefully everyone's okay with that. I'll be keeping my eye on the questions box throughout. And I look forward to speaking to you later. So I'm going to pass you over to Dr. Okker now and pose some of your questions to Dr. Okker. Hello, Dr. Okker.
Hi Elizabeth, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us too. So some of the questions that the viewers, attendees have sent in. Is the advanced training course for me, and how will it benefit me in practice?
All right, fantastic. Well, look, the advanced training course is basically, the next step in, implementing live blood analysis in your practice and utilizing it to its full potential. So, we provide more practical applications on how to use live blood analysis in your practice, insights, more detailed insights or clinical insights into the technique, as well as details on how to manage difficult cases and specific protocols used in those cases. Now, one of the most important things that we cover in the advanced course, which will be very valuable to practitioners in practice, is what the single most important thing is that will determine your success in a live blood analysis practice. Now, in other words, what is the most important piece of information that you need to achieve great results in practice? Being able to understand this and also how to apply this principle in your cases will be of tremendous benefit to practitioners. Now, the content of the course is geared towards practical applications and insights on more difficult cases and conditions. Now, when we were planning the content of the advanced course, we asked our past attendees what information they felt that they needed, after completing the 12-week course. And what many of the attendees said that they struggled with is case management, especially in complicated cases. So part of the course is actually aimed at addressing this. We give guidelines on how to properly assess and manage your cases better. Specifically, also how to work through the information in your case, all the anomalies that you've identified, and how to then decide on what the most important issue is to focus on in terms of treatment. Now, it is important to note that this just goes beyond focusing only on the anomaly that featured most strongly in the analysis. We look at how to prioritize all the focus areas in a case and how to decide on specific protocols. We also delve into more complex conditions, such as autoimmune diseases and cancer, with examples of clients from practice who were treated successfully with naturopathic and nutritional interventions based on the protocols developed by assessing the live and dry blood samples.
Thank you. Salwa is asking, is the cost of the training course, the advanced training course, in US dollars or British pounds?
Yeah, the cost is in US dollars. It's $5.99 US.
Thank you. And should we gain experience before doing the advanced course? This is Emma, who's already done the 12-week training course. Is she going to need some experience before she goes on to it?
Well, experience isn't really necessarily required. It is important to already be familiar with the terminology and the anomalies covered in the 12-week course. So if you still feel like you haven't quite gotten on top of the information in the 12-week course, then we'd recommend that you rather revise that information before enrolling for the advanced course, because a lot of the information in the advanced course obviously draws on the information from the 12-week course, and it would be important to be familiar with all the concepts and terminology from that course.
Thank you. I suppose that becoming more experienced will make you realize at some point that you will need the advanced training course.
Yeah, that's quite true. So a lot of people start using live blood analysis and they initially struggle. So if you find that you're struggling and that you have questions on how to actually use it properly, then this advanced course will definitely help you.
Thank you. Jerry Rose is saying, can we get photos of blood from people affected by 5G and 4G matched against pictures of normal blood?
Yeah, that's something that we are looking at this stage. When we put together the advanced course, 5G wasn't really being rolled out yet, but this is something that's a very interesting field of research, and we are definitely looking at investigating that in more detail, but it's not currently part of the advanced course syllabus.
Thank you. And how long is the advanced training course?
Well, the course consists of 6 one-hour webinars along with a training manual.
And are the lessons live?
Well, no. You'll receive recordings of the lessons. We're actually not able to run live lessons of the advanced course because attendees enroll at different times, for the advanced course. Now, we wanted to actually allow attendees to be able to enroll in the advanced course whenever they are ready. Now, some attendees take much longer than the usual 12 weeks to complete the normal course. So we have attendees enrolling at different times for the advanced course. Now, with the live lessons, we actually need a specific class size to make those live lessons feasible, which isn't really possible, if we're doing it this way. Running live lessons with smaller class sizes would make the cost just prohibitively too high.
Thank you. And I don't have time to commit to another 6-week course at the moment. Will I be able to complete the advanced course at my own pace?
Yes, absolutely. So this is again another benefit of the course being offered as recorded lessons. You're able to work through those lessons at your own pace. So whether you want to do it all in 1 week or do it over several months, that's entirely up to you.
Is there an assignment or a test, and is there a certificate?
Okay, so with regards to the assignment or test, there aren't any test elements or an assignment like we have in the normal 12-week course. You will simply need to work through all the course materials. Now, we do issue a certificate, and to get the certificate, you would just need to notify us by email after you've worked through all the course elements. We'll then confirm that all the elements have been completed by going onto the training site, and then we'll issue a certificate.
Thank you. And Maria is asking, is this certificate internationally validated?
Well, our course is accredited through the Complementary Medical Association. That's the accreditation that we do have. With live blood analysis, it's not regulated in that there are specific accreditations required to practice live blood analysis, because it's not really recognized as a diagnostic tool. It's more of a nutritional analysis that naturopathic and nutritional practitioners use to assess the client's state of health. So there's no actual body that one would need to register with to get accreditation.
Okay, and Maria says, can I enroll whenever I have financial possibility and manage time at my own pace?
100%, absolutely, yes. So because the lessons are provided as recorded lessons, you're able to enroll whenever you have time or whenever you're ready, and then you can work through it at your own pace.
And Emma is saying, will we gain support as we go through the advanced course? Should we have questions?
Absolutely, yeah. We're always available on email. So if there are any questions as you're working through the course materials, you're welcome to send us an email and we'll respond to that.
Thank you. And how can we access the course materials?
All right, so very similar to the current 12-week course, we'll send login details that will allow you to access the course materials. Now, they're on the same training platform as the current 12-week course. Now, this is the Digital Chalk Learning Management System, just in case there are attendees who are not familiar with the platform that we're using for the current course.
Thank you. And will this course move to the next level? Is there something better giving more information?
All right. Well, the basis of the analysis itself doesn't really change. It will still be the analysis of live and dry blood. I've yet to come across any other type of analysis that will compare to live and dry blood analysis, just in terms of the scope of information that is provided or uncovered on a client's state of health. There really isn't anything else out there that has the same level of accuracy and provides the same level of insight. Now, it is essential, though, that the analysis is supported by the correct equipment. You will struggle to get anywhere with live blood analysis if your equipment doesn't allow for proper dark field analysis. Now, we have seen practitioners who tend to look for other devices and tests because they felt that they weren't able to get the information that they needed from live blood analysis, but they were not using the correct equipment, so they were not really able to actually get all the information that they should have, from the blood. Now, if you're using live and dry blood analysis to its full potential, you will not really need any other tests or investigations in the majority of your cases. So the advanced course will help you to fill in some of the gaps, and will also give you the necessary insight to use this technique to its full potential.
Thank you. And Michael was asking about the advanced training course. Is it voice, slides, or both?
Yeah, it's presented very in a similar way as the current 12-week course. So the lessons have a slideshow with a discussion. So I go through the course materials, and we have questions and answers during the course as well.
Thank you. And how extensive is the manual? How many pages?
Okay, that's a good question. The manual is basically the 6 lessons with a little bit more additional information in there. I can quickly have a look at it for you. It's about 261 pages for the manual. So not too difficult, fairly light reading then.
And is there a simplified manual on the camera software?
On the camera software, no. If there are specific things that you are struggling with, please send us an email and also just let us know what your operating system is, because there's a different application between Windows and Mac. So let us know what operating system you're using and what issues you're specifically struggling with, or what you're trying to do with the camera. The software is basically has been developed to really just be user friendly and be very easy to use without distracting the practitioner during the analysis with having to change things constantly on the software. If you are struggling, let us know and then we'll be able to assist. I do have some information that I can send through on specific settings and a few pointers on how to use the software. But there's there's also a difference in the features available between the Windows and the Mac version.
Thank you. And I've put the email address on there, so drop us an email if you're having any issues with the camera or microscopes, or if you have any questions like that. And Selwa is saying, can we print the materials, i.e., I suppose, the manual?
Yes, absolutely. So we do provide a printable version as well of the course materials. So that is available.
Right, thank you. And can you give us a breakdown on what's included in the 6 lessons?
Yes, absolutely. I think we do have that available here. Okay, there we are. So that's the breakdown of the content of the 6 lessons. So if you look at week 1 there, we cover case management. And really the question there is what will determine your success. Now over the years, we've noticed that after completing the course, some practitioners tend to become very successful with live blood analysis and they build very successful practices with it, whereas other practitioners don't really get the same results and they ultimately don't really make use of it in practice. And then they then go on to look for other devices and something else that will make their practice busier and more successful. Now, the reason why some practitioners struggle to become successful with live blood analysis is that they are not able to uncover the most important thing in the case. Now, there is something in every case that is vitally important to identify, and without it, will make it very difficult to see any worthwhile results in practice. Now, this is a large part of what we focus on in this first lesson, and this will help you to get great results in practice. Now, this doesn't only apply to live blood analysis. The technique and the exercise that we do here is actually very useful to apply to every client's case that you see. The second lesson covers basically dry blood analysis in more detail. So we cover the exact mechanism by which PPPs form in the dry blood samples. We look at the physiological mechanisms of oxidation and how it affects the dry blood. And we also review a few common dry blood anomalies, and we look at the rings and the layers again in more detail. In the third lesson, we look at autoimmune diseases. Now, this is a detailed lesson on autoimmune disease, and it covers the causes of autoimmune disease, as well as the latest information from published studies on the most important underlying cause for all autoimmune disease. And we look at which specific anomalies to look for then in your live and dry blood samples, and what specific protocols to use then to address these issues. In week 4, or lesson 4, it's fibromyalgia and systemic lupus. So we have 2 detailed case studies of clients with these conditions, with before and after live and dry blood images, as well as the protocols that we used in those cases. Lesson 5 covers cancer indicators, and we also have 2 case studies there. So we cover basically how to approach a cancer case and what anomalies specifically to look for in the live and dry blood samples in cancer cases, and in cases where cancer is suspected. We also look at 2 cancer cases with before and after live blood and dry blood images, as well as the protocols that we used. And then in the last lesson, these are just 3 detailed case studies. So one is of a very complex chronic case, one is of a case with chronic fatigue syndrome, and one with Meniere's syndrome. Now here we look at before and after live and dry blood analysis images, how the cases were assessed and analyzed, and also how they responded to the interventions that we used. Now this lesson is basically to show how some of the guidelines from earlier lessons were implemented and applied to make complex cases easier to manage.
So does it help students to join the dots more?
Absolutely, yeah. So a large part of the course is, especially in the first lesson, and then again, just by looking through the examples of the case studies that we also cover, it will really help you to understand how to join the dots better.
Okay, and as you said, it's very important to have the right piece of equipment, the right microscope and camera for live blood analysis.
Absolutely, yes. I've found, practitioners that don't that really struggle with live blood analysis and don't find a great benefit of it from, in practice, usually don't have the right type of equipment, so that's actually more important than the information that I mentioned earlier that we covered in the first week, is that it really is critical to have the right equipment.
Okay, Michael is saying to join the what? It's to join the dots in your analysis, which means, I suppose, to tie up the various anomalies, yeah?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's really how to assess the case, and after you've looked at all the anomalies and identified them correctly, and this is something that people do struggle with initially. They're able to identify the anomalies, they're even able to kind of grade the anomalies as well. But at the end of the analysis, they have a long list of anomalies, especially in complex cases. They have a long list of anomalies, and then all the anomalies relate to each other and how they relate to the client's case and symptoms. And it makes it quite difficult then to decide on, what to focus on and where to start.
Yes, and I suppose one of the other important things is how to be able to establish which is the most important anomaly and what to concentrate on.
Absolutely, yeah, that really is important. So that's a lot of the focus in the first lesson is actually on that, to help practitioners to do that, because if you decide to then prescribe a medicine for each of the anomalies that you've identified, it will be quite difficult in practice. Clients tend to get very frustrated if they have a large number of supplements and things to take. And it can seem quite overwhelming to them as well, just the amount of information. If you are not really able to distill it down into sort of one main issue to work on, they just end up feeling overwhelmed, and they feel like they're a walking wreck, and everything is breaking down. So it really is important to be able to do that, for yourself as a practitioner, to know how to treat and manage your cases, but also for your clients, to help them to understand how what they've seen in the blood relates to them and to their condition.
So does it help you to drill down and to really focus on what's most important?
Absolutely. So that's the first lesson where we really focus on that, working out exactly what to focus on, what the main issue is that needs to be addressed.
Thank you. And is the manual PDF or flash drive?
No, it's all online. So there's a PDF manual that you'll receive a link to, and all the course materials are on the online training site.
Okay, thank you. So Any more questions? Please put them in the box. When do we begin the first class?
Well, the advanced course, you can begin at any stage. The course materials are ready, and basically attendees can enroll at any time whenever they're ready.
So anytime, you can enroll anytime, and you can take as long as you want over it.
Absolutely.
Even though, so all the lessons are available at once.
Absolutely, yes, 100%. So you're able to, go through the course materials as quickly as you'd like. If you really are thirsty for knowledge and you want to go through it really fast, you're able to do that. Or if you want to work through it slowly, that's also possible.
Okay. Michael is saying, where do I sign up? Michael, I will send you an invoice later or tomorrow so we can get you signed up. And Andrea is saying, what is the price?
Right, so the price is in US dollars. It's $5.99 US dollars.
Brilliant, thanks. Yep, so let us know if you want to sign up, because we can get you signed up if you send us an email. We will send you an invoice later or tomorrow. So info@livebloodlondon.co.uk. Just drop us an email there and we'll send you the invoice. Michael, I'll send it to you tomorrow. So if you have any more questions, please put them in the box. And as I say, if you would like to sign up for the advanced training course, email us at info@livebloodlondon.co.uk for an invoice. And on receipt of payment, we'll be sending you the links to the manual and the lessons. Is that correct, Dr. Okker?
Yes, absolutely, that's correct.
Okay, and then you will get your certificate on completion of the advanced training course. So anything to add to that, Dr. Okker?
I think that covers it. If there are any questions, then we're definitely happy to answer them. Or if you think of something after the lesson, then send us an email, then we can definitely answer the question.
Okay. And Selwa is saying, was it mentioned if there are tests after each module with the advanced training course?
Yeah, so there are no tests in the advanced course. You basically just get access to the course materials, and you just need to work through those course materials. Now, on the online training platform that we're using, I'm able to actually go in there and I'm able to check the progress of all the attendees. So we're able to see that the course materials have been worked through and completed. And once that's done, then obviously we're able to issue a certificate.
Okay, and Jerry is saying, how would we pay in the future? Where would we let you know we are ready? Jerry Rose, just send an email to us at info@livebloodlondon.co.uk and we will get an invoice off to you just whenever you're ready. Okay, so any more questions, put them in the box. Otherwise, we will we'll bring it to an end. So Michael says, thank you both. Be well. Thank you very much. And Jerry Rose says, could you remind me of the cost in dollars, please?
$5.99 US dollars, so $599 US dollars.
Marvelous. Okay. So thank you very, very much for joining us. We hope that that was useful to you and answered some of your questions regarding the advanced training course. Obviously, if you do get any more questions, then do drop us an email at info@livebloodlondon.co.uk. So it's thank you and goodbye from me, and thank you very much, Dr. Okker.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.